Hi, welcome back to the Potsmucker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Potsmucker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament. Now, today, we're starting part 1 of the 22nd chapter of the Potsmucker's Bible, which is the 19th chapter of the book of Zion. It's called, Now Will I Rise. This is part 1, and it is the general reading. So, let's start. This is the chapter that puts it all together. This is a declaration by God to all humans. Marijuana is a sacred tree of life. It is used by my people in a sacred way, whether we know it or not. Our use of pot is our righteousness. The act of getting high is sacred. God has ordained this. The imagery of this chapter will be so obvious to my people. The chaff, the cutting up of the buds, the live coal placed on the lips, the smoke in the throne room of the future king. These are passages that cannot be explained in any other manner. It's about the physical actions that my people do every time they get high. It's about the revelation of the high. We are justified. We are a people created by God. We are the ones that do the very things that are foretold of us. No Christian preacher can use these passages in their fables of Jesus, because Jesus Christ never was real. A real Messiah would use every verse of the prophecy. How can chaff and stubble, which is in a fire in our breath, be explained by Christianity? It can't. The Christians ignore any passage that they can't explain. But I use these passages with no problem. I understand chaff and stubble. It's in every bag of wheat I buy. I can and do acknowledge the might of God. Any God that can justify my use of marijuana is a just God to me. And that is exactly what God has done for me and my people. God has given us these passages that can only be explained by marijuana. We have paid the price for our ignorance. We have suffered for our sins. We have been purged of our desire to sin. We have entered into a sacred space that is our right, both as humans and as gray. Our captivity is coming to an end because our God has provided us with this truth that cannot be explained away by ignorance. Either our way or that of our enemies. We are in this chapter we are told in this chapter to not be afraid of the hypocrites that suppress us. They are about to be undone by their own hypocritical nature. They cannot justify that which is not just. They cannot disprove what is already proven. All they can do is try, but they are not going to succeed. The truth is against them. This chapter describes the nature of this conflict called the war on drugs. It is a conflict between those who have a heart to be righteous and those who claim that right but do the opposite. And the distinction is this: who will be burned in the fire, and who will enjoy everlasting burning? My people already enjoy our everlasting burnings. We will always get high. We will always get high. Yes, we will always get high. No matter how hard society tries to convince us, we will not give up our marijuana. Never give it up, ever. That will never happen. You can take away the tweak, the coke, the acid, the heroin, but never take away my pot. Uh-uh. I and my people will never give up our sacred tree of life, our plant of renown, our little tree-like bush, call it terrapin, that we call marijuana. So, if we already enjoy our righteousness, our sacred holy smoke, then what's that only leaves our enemies to burn in the fire of God's wrath. Either you enjoy everlasting burnings, or you are burned in the fire of God's wrath. At that fire that you helped create. So, we burn and are not going to get burned. While our enemies refuse to take part in our burnt offerings, they do all that they can to punish us for our activities, which they created for themselves, while they have created for themselves a devouring fire. They cannot escape it. So, it's literally burn or be burned. The righteous will find their way to the tree of life, our very own plant of renown, our beautiful flower, our bud, our holy smoke. We will embrace our election. We will learn to become truly righteous, leaving our ignorance behind us. We will take part in the greatest of all adventures. But those who hate us, those who appear to those who oppress us and ridicule us and appear to be more righteous than we are, those will find out too late that what is written is true. Every last word of it, every line of the prophecy. Their omission of verses, they can't fit into their fable, will be the fuel that ignites the fire that devours them. Those who hate us do so at their own peril. This chapter tells us that the act of getting high is a sacred act. Isaiah himself is turned on in chapter 6. It is the act of getting high that saves us. When we get high for the first time, we become holy. We stop sinning. We desire to sin no more. It is purged. Our entire being is transformed into a divine being. How can we be the hosts of God without being transformed by God? We are sacred. We are holy. We are one with God. Today, my people crave the feeling that we get when we smoke marijuana. They don't know why or how the smoking of this plant makes them feel so good. They just know that to be high is to be whole. When we can't get high, we feel half alive. We need this high. Once we experience the merging of the minds, we crave that connection, like a pregnant woman craves pickles and ice cream, or some such thing. You cannot ever force us to sever our divine connection. Whether we know it or not, that doesn't matter. What matters to us is the way we feel when we get high. If you have never known that feeling, then how can you judge it? We will never willingly give up our connection to the divine presence. You've tried for 80 years. It's not going to work. So, the war on drugs can never be won, not by the state, because frankly, you have nothing to offer us in exchange. You demand we give up what is truly God for nothing. You take away sacred truth and offer only money in exchange, because money is the only thing that you have. Money is empty. It can't fill the void left behind when the connection to God is severed, when we stop getting high. So, the war was never winnable by those who declared it, because they don't have the means to fight it. Once the truth is out, the belief in man-made crap will lose its appeal. False gods that are nothing more than man-made idols will be rejected in light of the true living alien God, our God. The truth will undo all lies. A living God will destroy all false gods. And the shock and awe of this event, our first contact with the aliens, will change everything. The war will end. The nation of Zion will be born. Our ancient gods will be returned to us. We will rejoice. Those who are so sure of their own self-worth will be in shock. Will be in shock when they learn that they're the problem, not my people. We're the solution. Where my people are now subject to fear and need, they will then be elevated into the highest station on earth. Our honor and our glory will be complete. We will be free of fear, and we will know our true worth in the eyes of God. We will be safe. It's everyone else that will have cause to fear. They will learn the hard way how it feels to need and to not have. They will be the ones who can't find relief in time of trouble. They will call out to their idols and their money, but there will be no answer. Idols are man-made gods that cannot save. The foolish will reject the truth and fear the false evil that alien invasion. That is terrifying. They will call out to their idols, but idols and the fables that created them are nothing more than human inventions that are false. So when the gray arrive, they will ensure the future of their human children, and everyone else who will ignore them will find out the hard way that they need the gray. And I'm going to end here and take up next time with part 2. So, may the gray protect you, guide you, watch over you, teach you right from wrong. May you always be worthy of them. Let your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. May you always be happy and high. Know I love you. We'll see each other soon. Fight the good fight. Good thoughts. Later, because I'll never say goodbye.